What if I told you that there's a job where you can get paid $60 per hour to be Santa Claus from your living room? Or that companies are actually hiring people to make memes for $93,000 a year? Well, stick around because I'm about to show you 13 of the weirdest work from home jobs, and some of them are actually really easy to get into. First is going to be a death doula. And what if I told you there's a job where you literally get paid to help people have a good death? Yeah, I know, pretty morbid. But a death doula is kind of like a midwife, but for the other end of life. And they help families navigate the end of life care and planning phase, and most of them can do all of it through video calls from their home. And as morbid as this sounds, it's actually a really amazing service that can make the end of someone's life much, much better. And as you can imagine, not a lot of people want to do it because it's just a bit of a taboo subject. And that means that it's relatively easy for people who do want to do it to get into it. And base salaries range from $42,000 to $65,000 a year. Take this person, for instance, who left her career as an attorney because she felt unfulfilled, and she now makes a great living as a death doula while finding deep meaning in her work. And she says that it actually helps her appreciate life more. Now, the skills you're going to need for this are strong emotional intelligence, good communication skills, a basic understanding of end-of-life care, the ability to navigate difficult conversations, and cultural sensitivity. Now, the pros of working in this job are it can be meaningful work, it's definitely a growing industry. However, it comes with some major setbacks, like it can be emotionally demanding, you may need to be on call at times, and it's probably not something that most people want to think about all the time. So overall, I'm going to give this one an opportunity score of 8.5 out of 10. It's actually an amazing opportunity, but it's probably not for everyone. It is definitely a service out there that is needed in society, but with that being said, most people probably don't want to do it. Whew, now that we got that one out of the way, speaking of unique opportunities, the next one on the list is a virtual comedian. And yes, all of these are actual job postings that we found doing research for this video. And imagine getting paid $74,000 a year just to make people laugh, and you don't even have to leave your house. Well, companies are hiring comedians to perform virtually for corporate events, team building sessions, and private parties through platforms like Zoom and AltSpace VR. And a lot of the time, it's a bit of a comedian slash host type gig. And of course, I've seen this position quite a bit at different business events that I've gone to, but it's actually relatively common for this position to be on virtual events now too. And you make about $41,000 to $74,000 a year. Now, just as an example, during the pandemic, this comedian, Adam, pivoted to virtual comedy through platforms like AltSpace VR. And while initially skeptical, he found that virtual allowed him to reach a broader audience and maintain a better work-life balance. So the skills you need here are comedy writing ability, a strong stage presence, even virtually. You have to be relatively tech savvy just in case something goes wrong. You have to have the ability to read virtual rooms, and you need to be a quick thinker. Now, the upside of this is that you get to work from anywhere, no travel required. There's multiple revenue streams that are possible. You can record and repurpose content, and in many cases, you might have a flexible schedule. So overall, I'm going to give this one an opportunity score of 7.5 out of 10. Now, by the way, with all joking aside, if you're serious about landing remote gigs, but you don't want to spend hours applying, I've got a free guide. And in this guide, I'm going to teach you the system that has helped hundreds of people get jobs. And it's called Get Hired Now, Top 20 Sites for Landing Remote Gigs. And you can check that out down in the description and the pinned comment below. The next one I couldn't believe existed, but it's actually a thing. I mean, you can literally look it up, and that is a meme lord. And companies are paying up to $93,000 a year for people to make memes. Yeah, really. Professional meme creators develop viral content for brands' social media presence. And in some cases, like in the case of Bird Box, which had memes that went viral galore, they may actually be an integral part of the marketing strategy itself. And overall, they're going to be creating engaging, shareable content that resonates with target audiences. So think of it as being a modern day court jester, but instead of entertaining the king, you're entertaining the internet.
You guys are getting paid?
And overall, the pay here is about $54,000 to $93,000 a year, with a median pay of about $71,000. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, this one is very rare. You're not going to see a position for a meme lord or meme marketer very often, but I had to throw it on here because we did find it. So yeah, I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 10 opportunity score. Probably not the best opportunity. However, I thought it was hilarious, so I had to throw it on there. Now, if creating memes or telling jokes isn't your thing and you kind of just want to learn some really in-demand skills that companies are desperate for, I highly recommend that you check out Coursera, because Coursera basically partners with a bunch of big companies like Google, Meta, IBM, etc., to create certificates that teach you the exact skills that they want to see in the market. These are the exact skills that they're having trouble finding people that possess. So I'll go ahead and put some links in the description and the pinned comment below to some of Coursera's best certificates. All right, next one is hilarious as well. It's going to be a friend for hire. Yes, this is a real thing. Now, this one is a little bit more of a gig rather than a job, although there are agencies that do this. But basically, there's companies like Rent-A-Friend that offer opportunities for people to be virtual companions, and they provide conversation and companionship through video calls. There's also other opportunities to meet up with people in real life, or be a professional party guest, or pretend like you're dating someone during Thanksgiving or Christmas. And yeah, those are all legitimate gigs, and you can get paid a good amount of money, about $37,000 to $86,000 a year, with the average earning around $64,000. Now, doing the remote side of things is likely going to be on the lower side. You will get paid more to do in-person friendship meetups. But this person, for instance, was in Rent-A-Friend, and she basically said that if you have no particular skills and in no need of money, then you can be a friend for free. And she was able to do it herself. So you really don't have to have that many skills. I guess you need to have good listening abilities and you need to have basic communication skills. And that's pretty much it. It's a little bit dystopian. Kind of sad that people have to pay for friends. That's kind of sad and lonely. But yeah, it's a way that you can make money. And this one I've heard is especially good if people are kind of coming to your town and they want somebody to show them around town, kind of like a guide. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give this one an opportunity score of 6.5 out of 10. Next is going to be voice acting for AI training. Yep, this is a weird one too. And companies are actually paying $40 an hour for people to literally talk to robots and help make AI sound more human. Now, you've probably heard AI voices before, and 99% of people can immediately tell that it's AI. However, AI is getting significantly better. I recently just saw this AI for podcasts, and my friend sent it to me, and for the first like 5 minutes or so, I literally could not tell that it was AI. Now, companies are developing AI models, and they need voice actors to record conversations, express different emotions, and help train their AI systems to understand and respond more naturally to human speech. And it's kind of like being a language teacher, but instead of teaching humans, you're teaching artificial intelligence how to speak and understand emotions. Now, the salary varies per company, but for certain job posts, the suggestion is around $30 to $60 per hour. Some of them are contract work, some of them are part-time, some of them are freelancing. And according to ZipRecruiter, the hourly wage for voice actors in general is about $48. Now, this person, for instance, shared that they found an unusual gig, and they were basically recording 10,000 phrases to train an AI speech synthesis model, and the project paid significantly more than traditional voiceover work. So these AI companies are loaded. They got a lot of investors, and they're paying people really good money to do this. And for this, you basically need clear speaking voice, you need a good audio setup, although some of them might be hiring people specifically that don't have a good audio setup, and you need a basic technical understanding. So yeah, comment down below which of these jobs you think is the weirdest, or better yet, which one would you actually try? I want to hear your takes. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 9 out of 10 opportunity score, although it's probably an opportunity that's not going to last that long. Next is going to be a virtual Santa. And with this one, you can make up to $71 per hour spreading holiday cheer from your couch. That's right. Companies hire virtual Santas for video calls with families during the holiday season. And it brings Christmas magic right through the screen. So it's like being a mall Santa, but instead of a long line of kids, you have a queue in Zoom. And you get paid around $48 to $71 per hour, averaging around $60 per hour. Now, obviously, this one is seasonal, and it's also not, a steady job. So it'd be more of a freelancing gig. But with that being said, there is a real opportunity to make extra money during the holiday season doing this. And during the pandemic, many traditional mall Santas transitioned to virtual visits and found they could make more money while reaching families worldwide. So the only skills you need are a jolly personality, you have to be good with kids, and you have to have a little bit of improvisation ability. And that's about it. So yeah, I'll go ahead and give this one a 7.5 out of 10 opportunity score. Next is going to be a TikTok NPC streamer. And this one absolutely blew my mind. If you haven't heard about this already, prepare yourselves. You basically pretend to be a non-playable video game character on TikTok live streams. So think of yourself as a sim character, but instead of being controlled by someone with a mouse, you're controlled by viewers sending virtual gifts. Yeah, seriously. And the salary on this one is pretty insane. There's a lot of NPC streamers out there that are making $200 per hour through TikTok coin donations. And some creators are making more in 2 hours than they used to make in 2 weeks at a regular job. Yeah, seriously. If you don't believe me, let me tell you about Pinky Doll. She turned simple phrases like ice cream so good and gang gang, yes, 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 into a gold mine. And here's what's wild. She's not dancing, she's not lip singing, she's not even telling stories. She's literally just acting like a video game character, making robotic movements when viewers send her virtual gifts that are literally the same thing over and over again, and she's making bank. Now, some people might think it's nonsensical, but check this out. What started as a weird TikTok experiment turned into one of the most profitable trends on the platform. And the key is she found a way to make her streams interactive. Each donation triggers a specific response or movement, kind of like pressing buttons on a game control. And here's the best part. You don't need any special skills or fancy equipment. Just pick up a few catchphrases, create some simple movements, and stay consistent with your character. It's literally that simple, and people are making hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars per stream by doing this. Now, again, I don't know how long this is gonna last. It might just be a fad that only lasts for a short period of time. However, I do think that interactive media is going to be a huge thing in the future. People are going to be paying more and more money for actual interactive media, so it's not just them casually consuming something, but they can actually interact with the media itself. So that's definitely something to look into. And yeah, I guess I'll give this one a 7.5 out of 10. Now, imagine the fact that people like Pinky are making a ridiculous amount of money on social media. And then think about it if you were able to do it in a much more intelligent way, like, you know, building a YouTube channel, for instance. And that's exactly what you can do with my guide, which is From Zero to Hero, the low-tech guide to YouTube success. And this shows you how to get started without any fancy gear or a big budget. And check it out, it's in the description and the pinned comment below. All right, next is going to be a virtual event MC. And this is a little bit similar to the virtual event comedian, but you're typically hosting more live events where everyone's kind of viewing something. So kind of like an online event, conference, and virtual gathering type of thing. And you can think of yourself as the Jimmy Fallon of Zoom calls, keeping everything flowing while making sure everyone stays awake and engaged. And the salary is pretty solid, about $45,000 to $56,000 a year, plus you might get some tips or a performance bonus. Now, let me share a quick story. This guy pivoted during the pandemic and ended up hosting over 100 virtual events, becoming the go-to person for keeping online audiences engaged. So there is money in this. Now, how long is this gonna last? Who knows? I'm guessing there's definitely gonna be some longevity to it, because even though it's not the pandemic anymore, people are spending more and more time online. So I do think there's still some opportunity for this. I'm gonna go ahead and rate it a 8 out of 10. Next is an online magician. And this one might surprise you, but you're gonna be performing magic tricks specifically designed for virtual audiences. And it's like being David Copperfield, but instead of making the Statue of Liberty disappear, you're gonna be blowing people's minds through their laptop cameras. Now, the money here is pretty magical too, about $85,000 to $159,000 per year. And this person, for instance, is a magician that completely transformed his magic business during the pandemic. He built a professional TV quality studio in his home and now performs for thousands worldwide. So I guess it's not just magicians, it's basically anybody who does any type of performance. You can now just do it live online and stream to a bunch of people. And obviously you'd have to be good at magic in the first place, and you'd have to have some technical setup abilities, although you could just hire somebody else to do that. And the barrier to entry is pretty high here. However, if you are a magician or a performer, this could be great for you. I'll go ahead and give this one a 6.5 out of 10. Next is a mock juror, and this is an interesting one. This is where you are kind of like a juror and there's a mock trial that will help lawyers to work out weaknesses or loopholes in their case and get an idea of what the outcome would be in an actual trial. And you can think of it as being on Law and Order, but in your pajamas, and your opinion actually matters. And the pay averages about $19 an hour, with cases typically taking 20 to 60 minutes to review. Now, here's a real story from Reddit that caught my eye. A first-timer got selected for an online mock jury panel and wasn't sure what to expect. They were a bit nervous about the whole thing and sharing personal information, but what's interesting is they point out something really important. This isn't just another random online survey panel. You're actually helping real lawyers prepare for real cases, and you're getting paid to do it. Now, is this something that you could do for a full-time job? Very likely no. However, it is something you can do as a freelancer, part-time, or just make some money here and there. And the required skills are you must be 18 or older, you have to be a US citizen, and you need to have basic reading and writing abilities. So yeah, this is a pretty good one. There's some people that get paid pretty good money for this as well, a couple $100 each time. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 6.5 5.5 out of 10. Next is an online dating consultant. And this is where you help people optimize their dating profiles and improve their online dating success. And you can think of yourself as Cupid's tech support, helping people find love in the digital age. And believe it or not, there's a lot of money here. Online dating consultants often make $81,000 to $150,000 a year, with many consultants charging over $100 an hour. Now, there's many different flavors of consultants. Some of them will help you with your wardrobe selection. Some of them will help you optimize your online profile. There's a lot of different ones out there. This guy, for instance, works with both dating apps and individuals, and he's reviewed over 3,000 dating profiles and turned friendly advice into a six-figure business. Now, the required skills here are understanding dating apps and I guess dating dynamics in general, good writing and communication ability, basic psychology knowledge, and social media savvy. But believe it or not, there's actually a ton of money in the dating industry. And there are actually agencies out there that hire people as dating coaches. So you can do this as a job, you can do it as a freelancer, you can start your own business. There's many different ways to make money doing this. So yeah, I thought this one was interesting, maybe a little food for thought. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 opportunity score. Now, by the way, if you haven't done it already, subscribe to the channel. Come on, this video was a lot of work. It's a lot of fun to make, but a lot of work. Go ahead and subscribe. The next one is going to be an online psychic chat reader. Yeah, this is a real one too. And believe it or not, these people are absolutely making bank. Basically, obviously this one's kind of a joke because chances are you're not a psychic watching this, but basically during an online psychic reading, the medium will connect with your energy and attempt to give you insights into your past, present, and future. So you can think of it like being a virtual therapist, but with a metaphysical twist. Now, the salary is pretty eye-opening. Psychic chat readers average about $38 an hour, with top performers making well over $100,000 annually. And those are the people who have jobs. The people who start companies can make much, much more than that. And there's actually entire websites or entire parts of websites dedicated to online psychic readings. And some of these psychics have thousands and thousands of reviews. Now, typically only 1 to 10% of the people that you actually sell a product or a service to actually review it. So the fact that they have thousands of reviews means that they've probably done tens of thousands of paid readings online. And sometimes each one can cost anywhere from $20 to $100. So you do the math. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about this one. Don't want to offend anybody here, but it was a little bit mind-blowing to me. I'm gonna give it an opportunity score of 5.5 out of 10, I guess. Just because most people are probably not psychics that are watching this. And another one that I saw that's kind of related is a remote tarot card reader. So this one is different than being a remote psychic, and it might raise some eyebrows. Tarot card reading is a form of cartomancy, where practitioners use tarot cards to purportedly gain insight into the past, present, or future. So it's a little bit different than being a psychic because you're using cards. And you can kind of think of it as being a spiritual guide in the digital age. And believe it or not, these people are making $48,000 to $81,000 per year on average. So there is a real market out there for this. And one tarot card reader, Megan, turned her passion into a $200,000 a year business just by doing online readings. Another reader, Patty Woods, charges $50 for a 30-minute session and does it all from her spare room in her house. And here's what she says about ethical readings. A reputable reader won't tell you someone's going to die or that you're cursed. That's a scam. The goal is to give people hope and guidance. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, again, not going to say much about this one because I want to be fair, but I thought it was pretty interesting. Thought I'd put it on here. Maybe a little food for thought. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one an opportunity score of, I'll give it 5.5 out of 10 as well. So yeah, guys, these are interesting ones, but if you want remote jobs that are almost always hiring, I did make a video on that. It got lots and lots of views, and you can check it out by clicking right here.